I was drawn to like Islam as a faith anyway prior to all this, because up until like, so when I had my disaster with the club stuff, I took some time out. In fact, I took like 4 or 5 years out. It didn't do anything. I don't even know why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I just think how bloody ridiculous. What a waste of like life. I'm laughing at my own frustration. I think that's why I'm so frustrated when other people waste time, because I've made the mistake and there's nothing I can do to get that back. But the more I started to the more I was like learning about the religion and researching it, I guess the more I was falling in love with it. The more it was resonating with me, the more I was like, oh my God, this is the person that I want to be. This religion is telling me to be the person that I have in my head and my heart. Just I'm not acting on it. It made me feel full. Like it made my, I don't know how to describe it. It made my heart feel full. Made me feel warm. Just made me happy. I was really, really struggling with the club, and there was like this prayer room that I'd go to in the office block just next to the shisha lounge. And I'd go in there and pray privately, because and then when I started praying, I just felt so at peace and comfort and just a break from the stress, the headache. And then, weirdly, this is so random. So one day I'll go into the prayer room. I walk in and there's a guy in there teaching his son the Quran. And I know it's the Quran, I could just tell. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't even know how to pray. So I'm like, right, what do you know? Well, you know that they put a mat on the floor, so do that. Right, you know that they face Mecca, so do that. And there's a picture of Mecca on the wall, so I know those parts. But I don't know how that, because I know that they pray with the palms open. But obviously, I've been taught you pray with your palms closed. So I'm like, oh my God, I don't actually know like which way to look. So I do it with my palms closed anyway, because that's what I know. And then the guy looks over, just as a finish, we catch each other's eye. I don't know what made me look back anyway. And he looks at me and he's like, oh my God, is your name Jordan? I was like, yeah. And you are? And he was like, my name's Hussein. I came to Arabian Nights once, and you sponsored my charity car rally. I was like, no way. He was like, yeah. And he was like, so are you wanting to become Muslim? Like, should I take you to the mosque to see an imam? I was like, no. I was like, absolutely not. And I felt so much pressure as soon as he said all that. So I tried to just get away from him. He was like, give me your number. I was like, I'll just give him a number. So I gave him a number. He was like, I'll call you later then. I was like, okay then. I was like, oh my God. So anyway, I got home and then he called me about 8:30. And he was like, I've got something for you. I've got you a gift. I'm like, God, this guy's been really nice. Like. So anyway, I was like, okay, I'll meet you back where I met you. Anyway, he gives me a book on Islam, like all the beliefs and stuff. And then he gives me this like, I don't know, like woven like kind of like brown bag. And I open it, and anyway, he hands it over to me. And I open it up. And Joe, honestly, no word of a lie, it looked like there was like a ray of sunshine. And I was like, and it's like, it's a copy of the Quran, but it just looks so beautiful, exquisite, I think is the word. Like, just something about it, I just connect with it. Like, it just feels I just feel nice. I feel happy. And I just think to myself, oh my God, you're just like such an amazing person that you just met me, and knowing where I'm at, you've just done this. What an incredible ambassador for Muslims. Like what a beautiful guy, what a beautiful man. I don't know, I've never really felt kindness and generosity like that before. Because for me, kindness and generosity has always come in like, I guess with money. And, you know, and it wasn't, this felt just different, it felt special, it felt thought out, it just felt it felt genuine, it had integrity. I was just blown away by it. And I think he was like one of the ones that really kind of like had a big impact on me. To be honest, I couldn't read the Quran, the copy that he gave me. It was just so complicated. The English translation was just, it's like reading Latin. So it was really, really, really challenging. But I still picked up bits, but it drove me to want to learn. And so I would like find other like simpler forms and stuff. So it definitely started like another part of like my journey or progression into reverting, or some people might understand it as converted. So I'd been like toying with this whole idea of having a faith, but not being able to give up the club. And part of like, for a practicing Muslim is you can't be involved in nightclubs and alcohol and live music and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just not a provocative kind of environment. To be honest, I didn't want it anyway. So, kind of like, it was just what needed to happen. And I realised that I'd been given an opportunity to have a connection with God. And I just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it away. And in that moment, I just ran towards God. Like, I couldn't even run fast enough. Like, it was that kind of like, I was just like, oh my God, I want to have a connection with God. I want to have a faith. I don't want to like be scared. You know, like, I'm like, it's funny because, you know, I said to you, I'm not scared of anything. I'm genuinely, up until this moment, the one thing I was scared of is dying. Now I'm not. Like, I'm just not scared. Like, whereas before I was. So then I reverted. I walked away from the club pretty much the same day. I like literally handed the keys back, left everything in there, just walked away. I felt strong. You know, as soon as I made the decision to revert, I felt choked to even be attached to that club. For the few days I was, I wanted nothing to do with it. I wanted out. I genuinely I've had miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle throughout this whole journey. So I obviously then was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I've got no job. I was so fortunate because through a friend of a friend, I managed to get like an interview at this law firm. I had no experience, but because they were like Muslim owners, and they knew that I had reverted. They were like, you know what, we'll give you a chance because you've reverted, and you know it's Ramadan, and look, let's see. They were looking for someone with 5 years experience in sales and immigration. And I started, and Joe, to be honest, I was absolutely terrible. Like, I was horrendous. But one day, like, my boss, he phones me up and he was like, come to my house for iftar, which is the meal that you have to, you know, to open your fast during Ramadan. And then he just said to me, you should just be yourself, Jordan. He says, the reason you're not doing well is because you keep trying to be a salesperson because you're looking at everyone else on the sales floor. He said, but you've been taken on just to be you. Like, just be you. Just be real. And I was like, okay then. And you know, as soon as I realised that, genuinely not fabricating this, but within, I'd say, a month, literally a month, I was like the top salesperson. But remember, all the others have been there like 5, 6, 7 years. So it's very strange for somebody who's so terrible in there to just flip it round like that. But I was just like, you know what? I've reverted. I've put my faith in God. Now let's just like keep that faith. And this is what it's about. This is the beginning of a new life. I'd go as far as that. I was going to say new chapter, new journey, but you know what? For me, this is a new life.